Many shades of pink and black health. Many shades of pink and black health, where good health equals long life.
Welcome to the Many Shades of Pink and Black Health radio program on KBLKradio.com, sponsored by Many Shades of Pink. I am your host, Wendy Sherrill, breast cancer survivor and advocate.
And I'm your co-host, Dr. Susanna Flalo, a retired family physician. Today our special guest is Curtis Venters, better known as Curtis V. He's an author, advisor for City College Cosmetology, master stylist, and educator. Our topic today is Open Your Gifts, Volume 2, I Can't Take It Anymore. So, Curtis V., welcome.
Yes,
Thank you for
welcome.
coming.
Thank you, ladies. Thank you so much. I appreciate being here.
And we appreciate having you.
Yes.
I feel very humbled being between two beautiful, intelligent,
And vibrant.
ooh,
Right, uh-oh.
Women.
vibrant,
Okay.
vibrant.
I had to add that in.
No, please. You didn't have to add it. We could feel it.
Okay.
The vibe.
Yeah, right?
So tell us a little bit about yourself, who you are and where you've come from, and just tell us.
Do
Let the
I-
audience know.
You,
Yeah,
you want
and
me
your
to tell you all of it?
Not
Yeah,
all the
and-
gory details, though.
And your
Okay.
family.
And
Yeah.
my family?
And the family.
Yes.
Okay.
We want to know it
All
all.
800 of them.
Oh, 800 of them. Okay, so Curtis Venters, like you said, but everybody knows me as Curtis V. I got that name. I was trying to figure out a name for my CD. And my producer, who is the guitar player for Frankie Beverly and Maze, he's saying, okay, so you want this new name for your CD? And I go, yeah. So I'm trying to think, and I'm thinking, okay, what? Yusef? No, that's taken. And I'm trying to come up with all these names, and he said, well, you figure it out. So he called me back, and he said, well, man, he said, your name is cool like it is. He says, everybody just calls you Curtis V, so why don't you put just Curtis V? And I'm going, you know, you're on to something here. So
Okay.
we stuck with Curtis V. It was easy, and it was my name, so, you know, I wouldn't have to get used to, you know, Yusef or
A stage
something
name
else.
or
Yeah,
something.
right. So I am originally from Oakland, born in LA, but raised in Oakland, so I claim Oakland.
Mhm.
And, you know, the Oakland music scene is so strong. I've been playing music since I was a little guy, but playing music and writing. My mother was an educator, Dr. Owens. She was an educator and a minister.
Mhm.
So I had a couple of things going on. I had to learn how to be smart, but I had to be cool about it. And I had to be good, but I had to be cool about that too.
Mhm.
So, you know, but you know about the PK kids. So we won't talk about that part, right? Everybody knows PK
That's
kids.
right.
Right. So, do you
So-
have any children?
I do have children. I've got 5 children. I have my daughter, Akila, and Courtney in Quebec, William II, and Asha Venters. And all of my kids are wonderful, wonderful kids. My oldest daughter is the PhD. My other daughter, Courtney, she's a phlebotomist. And I have a son who's the drummer for Jennifer Hudson.
All right.
And my younger son, William II, he wants to be a comedian. And then my daughter, the youngest one, Asha, she's going to school to be a doctor like her sister, but she wants to be a pediatrician. So
Amen.
she's following in your footsteps.
All right.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
All right.
Yes.
So you told us about your children. Do you have any siblings?
I do have siblings. I've got 3 sisters.
Mhm.
Actually, I had 3 sisters.
So you have children now.
I have 1. I have Kathy, Cheryl, Kathy, Jetty, and Cheryl. Kathy was my sister that was right under me, and she was the closest to me in age. We were about 14 months apart.
Mhm.
So for the longest, I thought my name was in Kathy. I even asked my mother.
And Kathy.
I said, is my name in Kathy? And she said, well, no, baby, why do you ask that? And I said, because every time somebody says something about me, they always say, where's Curtis and Kathy? Here comes Curtis and Kathy. So for a long time, I thought my name was in Kathy. Right? And so my sister Kathy, whom I love dearly, I'm close to all my sisters.
Mm-hmm.
But my sister Kathy, whom I love dearly, she passed away, multiple myeloma. Jetty is my middle sister. She's a little fireball. She kind of runs things. And Cheryl, she was even feistier than Jetty. She passed from breast cancer. Yeah, so
I remember that.
yeah. So that was it was kind of hard for me to deal with. My mom and dad, Dr. E.J. Owens and Theophilus Owens, and my dad passed away from prostate cancer.
Mm-hmm.
So needless to say, that's something that I'm very passionate about and am praying very, very diligently and constantly for a cure for, because we all know, we've all been touched by it, and cancer is very, not to say any other disease isn't, but cancer especially is a very unforgiving disease.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
So, why did you decide to become a hairstylist?
Actually, I didn't decide to become a hairstylist. I've been doing hair since I was 7. As I told you earlier, pre-show, I've got 6 aunties, and I used to walk through on Sunday morning, and they would ask, and they'd be, pressing those edges, getting ready for church. So I'd walk through the kitchen. They lived in this 2-bedroom house in Fort Worth, Texas, on an acre of land. Loved it. And it was this little house. So I'd walk through the kitchen, and they're pressing their hair, and I'd go, I could do that. And I'd keep on walking. And I'd go every Sunday. It was during the summertime. We stayed there the whole summer. So one Sunday, I have twin aunties, Barbara and Brenda. So my auntie Barbara, they kind of, you always have your favorites. So she kind of took me, and her twin Brenda kind of took up with my sister, Kathy. And Kathy. And so she said one day, you know what, boy, you're always talking about you can press these edges. I said, I can. That's easy.
Mm-hmm.
So she said, come here. She took the pressing comb, she put it in the freezer. She took it out and she said, now press my edges. My little tongue was hanging out the side of my head. And I was like, okay, I can do this. And she said, I didn't feel it. And I said, well, I know. I said, I told you I could do it. It's easy. I don't even know why you guys are, ow, Juja. And so she heated it up, and eventually I started pressing. I went from pressing edges to cutting hair. I cut everybody's hair. I cut my aunties. I cut my cousins. So by the time I was 13, I've always been small in stature, right? So if I only weigh 180 now and I'm grown, I must have weighed about $1.35 then. So I'm weighing about $1.35, and I'm going, a lot of my friends, I'm from Oakland, so this is Black Panthers and drugs, and a lot of things come out of Oakland, music, and a lot of academia too. But I said, you know what, I can't really do the drug thing because my father worked at the police station. I said, but I need some extra money. But I sure want to get some of that drug money. So what do? So what you do is cut hair and style hair. So I got some of that same money, but I didn't have to worry about going to jail for it because,
you got paid by the drug money.
You know what I'm saying? You're looking at me. I'm too light to fight, too thin to win. So,
Okay.
I wasn't trying to be a part of that number. Some parties you just don't want to go to.
Right.
So that's how I got started. So I was making my little side money. Fast forward, I'm in college going to school for sociology and psychology. I want to change the world.
Of course.
Yeah. I didn't really want to be a hairstylist because I didn't like the stigma that went along with hairstyling 40 years ago when I was coming up, And I didn't know how this happened, but I know that I just didn't want that stigma. I didn't want to be, I like women too much.
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't know. I didn't know if you pop differently or what. You know what I mean? I just didn't know. So, color me ignorant.
Okay, so when you say stigma, what stigma is
Well,
that?
the stigma was that you could not be a hairstylist if you were not, if you didn't have feminine tendencies.
As a male hair.
As a male, yeah.
hairstylist.
In a salon
And
with a whole bunch of women.
With all women, and when I was coming up, all the fellas that were hairstylists had alternative hair lifestyles.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Okay.
and I just didn't, I mean, I'm not knocking anybody. I love everybody, but it's just not my lifestyle.
You didn't want to be lumped up in that group.
And I didn't know how it happened, so I didn't want to take a chance. And
So my question to you is, because if there are men in the hair arena, they're mostly in a barber shop. So it's
Mostly,
yeah.
right.
So then
And I
a
didn't-
male being in a hair salon, that was kind of the difference, and that's where that stigma would have come
exactly,
in. Right.
and I didn't want to just do barbering.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
it kind of stagnated my creative.
So I have a question though, because you're talking about from the age 7 you were pressing the edges. Did you ever press anything past the edges?
Well, yeah. I finally
Did they trust you to go through the rest of the
over the
hair?
course of the years, I finally got to the point where I could go past the edges. And
So did you get down to the crown?
I got the
And
crown.
back to the kitchen.
Oh,
The kitchen.
yeah. Oh, I worked in many a kitchen in my day. I tell you, I took care of a lot of those pots and pans back there. Yes, I did.
Okay.
Did you ever burn anybody's head or neck back, as we call it?
Yeah.
You know what? I have early on. And I didn't burn them.
They just moved. They
It was
moved.
like your mother used to say. I didn't burn you, girl.
Yeah.
You moved into
Yeah,
it. Had you not moved, you never would have gotten burned. Now sit
Right.
here, still, and
need to
trust this 365-degree iron,
Basically,
and don't
you
move.
need to keep still.
Exactly.
All right.
Exactly.
So-
Either that or grease. It wasn't me though.
So question.
Yes.
Explain to our audience what is a master stylist.
A master stylist.
Yes.
A master stylist is an old stylist.
A master stylist is somebody that calls himself that, right?
Calls himself
Yeah.
a master stylist.
There you go.
No,
Okay.
a master stylist is a stylist that's been in the business and been able to sustain his business for his lifetime. So for me, it's been 40 years,
Okay.
and I still have people sitting in my chair, and I'm still relevant. So I have cut and learned how to cut to the point where I can look at hairstyle and pretty much tell you exactly how to get there. So that's a lot of studying and a lot of training and a lot of practice.
So can you tell, people come in, women come in saying, I want to have a hairstyle like this.
Like that
And you know
picture.
darn well that it won't look good on them. How do you
Exactly.
go about
They got
telling
the
them
the
they don't
right
have the right
shape
shaped face or head or whatever? How do you break the news to them, or do you just go ahead and give them that haircut and let them look jacked anyway?
No, you don't do that.
Okay, that's
See,
what I
because
thought.
whenever you do
Okay.
something like that, what happens is this. That's like scribbling your name and putting it on a
Yeah,
billboard.
yeah.
Okay.
I do not scribble my name and put it on a billboard.
Okay.
I can't do it.
So
It's
you
gonna-
can't go out there. You can't give her what she wants when it's not gonna enhance her.
Exactly.
Yeah.
See, my thing is this. What you need to do is you need to tell me what you want. I'll tell you what you need, and then we'll come to the middle. We'll
You'll meet in the
meet
middle.
somewhere in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
But I've been known when people say, well, I want this hairstyle, and I've been known to take the hairstyle and say, okay, the closest you're getting to that is if I were to take it and place it
Next to your face.
on your head. That's the only way you're going to get it, because let's just be realistic. But now, I mean, as I've gotten more mature and more seasoned, my tact is
I was
a
just
little
gonna
bit.
say- I was just gonna say, you
no,
gotta be
yeah,
more
yeah. Oh,
tactful now.
sure.
Yeah.
So what I do now is this: when a woman brings a hairstyle in that you know is not even in the realm of what her hair is capable of doing, even after you modify it,
Mhm.
then
Okay.
I will tell her this, or I will pose this query: does that look anything like your hair? And when you come in and you want some wing bangs, and you're looking at somebody who's a non-member, a non-member,
Mhm.
And then you're saying this is how I want my hair, and it's longer than what it is even at that point, then I will ask them very gently, excuse me, dear, I know you want those bangs to hang over your eye. I get this. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to take your hair and I want you to pull it down to where you want me to cut it. 9 times out of 10, it does not even reach where they want it to go. So I say,
We're going to have to hold that
Mr.
thought.
Cursby,
Yes.
put a plug in there for a second. We're going to take a break, and we'll be right back. You're listening to the Many Shades of Pink and Black Health Radio program on KBOKRadio.com, and we'll be right back after this break.
I'm a breast cancer survivor.
We are honoring our heroes.
I'm here today because of Susan G. Coleman's free mammogram.
We are pledging to save lives.
We're passionate about bringing the services out to the community.
We are providing free mammograms. We are providing hope.
Go.
Welcome back to the Many Shades of Pink and Black Health Radio program on KBOKRadio.com. Sponsored by Many Shades of Pink. I'm your host, Wendy Sherrill, breast cancer survivor and advocate.
And I'm your co-host, Dr. Susanna Flalo, a retired family physician. Our guest is Curtis V.
Yes.
And we're in the midst of talking about hairstyling, but he is an author, and we're going to find out a little bit about your book, so unless you want to finish that story about Halle Berry and that, no.
No, where we left off is
With the bang,
the
the
little
comb
bang.
over bang?
I want to know what happened with the comb over bang.
Oh,
Did she
yeah.
get that comb over bang or not?
no, she didn't get the comb over bang. I talked her into a pixie because that little part was just kind of there. It was like a little tuft of hair, and she would always go beyond the tuft to the crown to pull it down. And I'm going, that's a comb over. That's not a bang if it's in the crown area. It's called a trump or something like that. Yeah, you've been trumped.
Yeah, you've been
trumped. Yeah.
with that comb over.
Right, you're going to pull hair from the back of your head to the front
Oh,
and talk
my.
about swing bang.
Big gust of wind is just going to blow those
Oh,
bangs
it
right
doesn't
all
even
over
have
the
to be a
place.
good gust, Nice brisk walk will put it up,
Okay, Mr. Curtis
Oh, my
B.
goodness.
What makes you stand out from all the other hairstylists here in San Diego?
I can tell you that.
No, I want to
His
hear
sense
from
of
you.
humor, he crazy. That's what it is. But go ahead, Curtis B. You say what you need to say. I already know. I was with the man, but he's crazy. Go ahead, Curtis B.
Well, you know what? I don't know what makes me stand out from all the other hairstylists, but I can tell you what I do that makes me feel good doing it. A couple of things. Number one, I never like my clients. I always love them.
Uh-oh.
I've never, ever liked my clients. I've always loved them. Anybody that's paying your electrical bill, your house note, your kids' schooling, and so forth and so on, you don't like these people. You love them, and I treat them as such. I do the ladies' hair. The guys send their ladies to me to do their hair, and I do their hair just like I would if they were on my arm. I don't shortcut, and that just doesn't work for me. But the other thing is, everybody is special.
All right.
Everybody
I like that.
is special. And I got an award, and I felt really good. I never thought I would hear my name, living and legend, in the same. They either say he's living and he's going to be a legend, or he's legend and God rest his soul.
Mm-hmm.
But I happen to be fortunate enough to have received a Living Legend award. And while I was standing there and I was wondering, what am I going to say? And all of these hairstylists and the audience, I said, I know that all of you aspire to do celebrities and so forth, but my celebrities are the ladies that come in to see me once a week, once every 2 weeks, once every 3 weeks, and once a month. Because those are the ladies that care about me. Those are the ladies that have taken care of me and my family forever. Mm-hmm. Not to say celebrities are insignificant, but that's not something that makes a clientele solely. And you don't have to, you are somebody when you're doing local celebrities, the mother that takes care of her children, the principal that's taking care of others' children, the doctor that's taking care of us. these people are my celebrities. So
Amen
Well,
to
that
one.
yeah, and I'm glad that you made that point because today's hairstylists they have a problem with time. Want to keep you in a salon 8 hours. You know, and basically, with the attitude that they have an attitude as if you know you lucky that I'm doing your hair,
right,
and you know as if you're not paying them.
right.
So that is, I'm glad that from old school that you have the tradition of, you know, loving and respecting your clients and
Most
treating them
definitely.
and making them special.
Most definitely. Most definitely. You shouldn't be in the salon all day. Although I love my clients and we have a wonderful time, but you know, time is of the essence, and the one thing you can never get back is time.
Exactly, because I ain't getting paid to be here.
Exactly. And I'm thankful. I'm thankful that you're here. Paying,
Right.
You know what I mean? It's not your. You should feel honored to get your hair done by me. I'm thankful that you're allowing me the opportunity to share my gift, and you happen to be my canvas. So my artwork is walking the streets because you allowed me to do so.
So I have a question. Can you
Yes.
do any grade and style of hair or type of hair?
I'm multicultural.
Okay, because I don't go to a stylist. I never have. I think I went twice.
No.
And someone called himself thinning my hair out.
Why?
Of course, well, I had a big head of hair. I mean, down to here.
Yeah.
But I'm old now, so it's all falling out. But thinning it out, so they cut underneath it, which I, of course, didn't know. That was at the age of 13. But I've been doing my own hair ever since. This is not what it looks like these days, but I have never been to a
I
stylist.
like your hair.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
simple. But I don't need to put chemicals and press
No,
those edges
no,
and all that
you
stuff.
have
So
to,
it's like back in the day, you would roll it up and sit under that big old hooded
Mhm,
dryer,
mhm.
and then you get all these big curls. So
Exactly.
you know, people want to put things in your hair, and that's why I don't go there.
It's not
And,
necessary. No,
yeah.
I'm multicultural. So I do everybody from the sheriff's wife to the little girl whose mother doesn't know what to do with her hair. Yeah, no, that's literally.
No, that is
you know,
that. No, that is.
And
so,
you know, we do videos. We do. I mean, I do everybody. The only thing that I don't do
Hmm.
is I have a young lady that does commercial hair for me, or weaves, and then I'll cut it and style it, but she does the commercial weaves, or she will if it's somebody that's, you know, her client. But I don't do that, and I don't do braiding, but I do locks, I do straight hair, curly hair, coarse hair, men's hair, women's hair,
Okay.
and my clientele
so you
reflects
just
that.
did all walks of life.
Yeah, color,
colors,
cut,
everything. Yeah.
relax, you know, natural. I
Straighten
do it
the
all.
curly hair and you
Curl
the
the
straight
hair, yeah,
there you
I
go.
do. Lighten the dark hair and darken the light hair, you know. That's what I
So we're gonna dive in about the Open Your Gifts book, Volume 2, and can you tell our audience what is Open Your Gifts?
do. Open Your Gifts is sharing your journeys. It's a series of, there are 42 of us. And
44.
44 of us.
Yes.
Okay.
Co-authors.
Yes.
44 co-authors.
Yes.
And Kim Cole.
Yes.
And I'm sitting here with the one that I'm just so excited to be sitting next to one of the co-authors.
co-author.
Yes.
Yes, right. And I'm really excited about doing some future events and so forth
Yeah.
with this. But Open Your Gifts is people that are sharing their story and their gratitude and their forgiveness and their selflessness and their stories to enlighten the reader and share ways to get through.
Right. It's like a self-help book. You know, a lot of things that we go through in life, we look at them as tragedy when really, if you look at it another way, they can be gifts
Exactly.
You know, it's our gift that God give us and that we can share with the world.
So it's a book that Kim Cole is kind of helping to promote. She has a chapter, and then
She
there's
actually
44
has-
other co-authors that have chapters in it.
Yeah.
And each one
Exactly.
tell a snippet
Tells
of their life or what it
Yes.
is they've overcome.
Yes.
Exactly.
Okay.
We
Mhm.
each
A
have a
compilation.
chapter. Yes, it's
Yes.
a compilation of
Story.
life's stories.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
And-
is
and-
there,
and-
there
and-
is this
and-
acronym? Is this an acronym?
Yes,
This-
yes, it is.
You know what it
And
stands for?
yeah,
Yeah.
we know what it stands for. So it's gratitude, intentions, forgiveness, and triumph. Which yours is triumph, right?
Correct.
And mine's is triumph. And
then the
and then
S is
it's
for-
self love.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So each one of those 44 plus Kim Cole stories touch on any one of those gifts.
Right.
F to
Yeah.
S.
Fall into
Do those
One of those.
one of those categories.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah. And it. So I was going to ask you, how did you meet Kim Coles and become a co-author in this in the latest book?
Oh, well, I met Kim when I was hosting comedy shows, and I met Kim through McKenna.
Okay.
So she had a conscious comedy, and I met Kim, and I did a few shows with her, and so when she came back with with her book, Open Your Gifts, the first one, and naturally I'm going to support her because I've always respected Kim Coles and been a fan of hers and so forth. And then when I met her initially, then we made a connection, although she didn't really remember who the heck I was until afterwards. And she goes, "Oh yeah, it's yeah, oh yeah."
All black men. look
Yeah,
alike,
right. We all you a little old black dude.
Hairstylist.
Yeah, right.
Master hairstylist.
Right. You know how many of them I see in a week?
A dime
Right.
a dozen.
Right,
Okay.
right. But after we made our connection, it was really special, and I saw what she was doing, and I wanted to be a part of it. She asked me if I would like to be a part of it, and I said sure. And another thing that was kind of interesting is the fact that she had the majority of the first one, they were
Yes.
women.
All women.
And since they were all women, I said, well, the men have a story to tell. Here I am again in this pool of women. But definitely at this point, very comfortable.
Yeah.
And so that led to, well, write your story. I'll tell you exactly how we can do this, and write your story and let's hear it. Wrote the story, I sent it to her, and she said, I love it. And I said, well, that's good, because it was a dark time in my life that I needed to overcome. And if you love it, then I'm sure somebody will benefit from it. So,
Right.
yeah, it was kind of hard though, because it's, just like getting naked, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Vulnerable.
Yeah.
Vulnerable.
Yeah.
But
And
isn't that part of the healing process?
It is a part of the healing process, but you know what? Snatching a Band-Aid is a part of the healing process also, and it does not feel good. I'm just saying. You heal, but it doesn't feel good. It wasn't the best feeling in the world, but afterwards, it was very comfortable. It felt
So you were
comfortable because a
comfortable.
weight was lifted off of me, in that you have this part of your life that's a dark part that you hid behind doors and you didn't want anybody to know. But then you found out how this darkness in your life could be light for
In
somebody
somebody
else's
else's
life.
life.
And
Yes.
once that happened, then I didn't have a problem talking about what my problem was at the time, aside from the obvious problem that I have, which is being a little touched.
Yeah. I do have a question. I need to dial it back just
Sure.
a little bit. You're here in San Diego, but you were raised in Oakland. How in the world did you come down here?
I came down, you know what? I came down here to get married.
Okay.
Yeah.
So did you find a bride down here, or you
Well,
dragged her from Oakland down here?
No, I found my bride on a cruise ship.
Okay.
And I fell in love. I got married. I was married for 7 years and 11 months.
Okay.
And it was, it was a nice marriage, but it just didn't work out. So it was time to do something else. So I did.
Okay. So you stayed here. You didn't go back to
I,
Oakland.
yeah.
You had already set roots here. But
Yeah, you know, I mean, I started my business here, another business here, because I was doing the same thing in the Bay Area. But, you know, it was, I was here, I had set up roots, and I like San Diego. It's good, so,
Okay.
yeah.
I was curious about that.
Yeah, that's how I got here. I hadn't even been here, not for any length of time prior to that.
Okay.
She said, well, how do you feel about moving to San Diego? The first time I came down, I said, well, it's nice. She said, what would it take to get you down here? I said, I'd have to have a nice place to work in a really nice area. After that, you give me one head and I'll get the rest. Not she give me one. If I get one on my own, then I'll take care of the
We're
rest.
talking about hairstyling, okay?
Hair,
Okay,
yeah,
all this-
we're talking about hairstyling.
Yes,
Hairstyling.
Yeah, thank
Yes.
you.
So
Okay.
I got that one head for hairstyling, and then I built my
Your empire.
I built up from there.
And
it's
even
been
though
good.
we're only a small percentage, we African Americans are only a small percentage of this community, the good thing is you are diverse, so you can do anybody's
Exactly.
head, which means you got however many millions of heads in San Diego you can work on.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, this business is really kind of different because you're good until you're not. It's
Right.
kind of like a marriage. You know, you're good until you're not. You're the man until you're not. You're the woman until you're not. And then, you know, it's move on. But what you do is you just keep those numbers going and keep trying to please and be kind and special
Mm-hmm.
to anybody that comes and sits in your chair and into your salon. Make sure you always have something poignant to talk about so that
I'm
they
quite
walk
sure
out
you
with
don't
nuggets.
You don't lack in that area, huh?
And not only that, but when
Yeah.
you
I
do
try to
provide-
nurture my brain just a tad.
when you provide good service, word of mouth is really your
It
Your
is.
marketing,
Yeah, it is.
it's
It is.
always word of mouth. So, what inspired you to write "I Can't Take It Anymore"?
that's his
Yeah,
chapter. That's the
That's,
title
That's
of
my
his
chapter.
That's
yeah.
the name of his chapter. But you know, speaking on your chapter, how did you arrive at "I Can't Take It Anymore" and what inspired you?
So, what happened was this.
Make a long story short.
No, I am.
And
I
don't
am.
give enough details so that they don't buy the book either.
Oh yeah,
So just give them
no
some
worries,
snippets.
no
Yeah.
worries,
Yeah.
no worries. So what happened was this. As I lived that,
Mm-hmm.
is how I wrote that. So writing it, I knew that I couldn't take holding this in, it being bottled up in me anymore. So the way that I wrote it was I couldn't take not sharing anymore.
Okay.
I couldn't take not bringing the light to a dark situation. I couldn't take not standing in my greatness. I couldn't take watching when I could be a participant. I couldn't take that anymore. That wasn't me. That's not who I am.
Okay.
So since I couldn't take that, I chose not to. And as I wrote it, that's what came out. And as I lived it, it's also what came out. I couldn't take it anymore. And I couldn't take being in an area that was unfamiliar, and it was so unfamiliar that I didn't want it to become familiar.
Okay.
So I didn't want to be comfortable in an uncomfortable situation,
Yeah.
especially when it was negative. So I came up with, I can't take it anymore. I can't take not being great. I can't take not having something positive to say. I can't take not helping a sister and bringing somebody to, I can't take that.
Right.
And so I won't.
And so you couldn't take being the fact that you couldn't be you at that time.
Exactly.
So you needed to release that so you could continue being who you were. Step into your truth.
Exactly. Step
Right.
into my greatness, the man that I was born to be.
And also helping others as you do what you do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. The one thing I found out through this, actually through the journey, is helping somebody else through a situation And it doesn't matter how you help them. It could be something as minuscule as just listening to them, but helping somebody through a situation, sharing what your experience has been or is or could be, sometimes is enough to give a person the initiative to stand up and at least see possibilities. And if you can see a possibility, then it makes it a lot more tangible. And it's all because you shared where you were. So that lets this person know, I'm not the only one that's been here.
Right, and basically my favorite is I turned my tragedy into triumph.
Yeah,
You know, so-
exactly.
Is that the name of your title on your?
No, mine is Shattered into Purpose.
Okay.
I like
The
that.
title of your chapter.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I'm just curious, how long is the chapters of each one of the co-authors?
A chapter is 1,500 words.
Yeah, 1,500
It's
words.
somewhere around 1,500
1,500 words.
words, somewhere
Yeah.
in there.
Okay.
And so you had to, although it's short, but you want to captivate the audience on what you went through, but how you overcame that, and your, at each, I know on each point that I wrote on, and all of my different tragedies. I basically turned it on them so they could reflect, have you been through this?
Right.
And, and if you went through this, you would know how I'm feeling right now, But this is what I did because I didn't realize it then, but I was being healed without even knowing,
Right.
So
Right.
it really is. It gets, with me, it stripped me down. It took me back to, all those different tragedies that I had, and that's why it was so hard to write it, because I had to revisit.
Had to relive it.
I had to revisit and relive that pain that I felt and I had overcame, and I had to go back. And so in order for me to, help others, I did that. So that's why it took me some time, but I did it, and I got through it. So
I'm curious how, I know the book's written and you guys have your covers for your special books.
yeah.
Each author gets a picture on their book, right? Or something like that?
Well,
Yeah, it's the
you have
vanity
the
cover.
opportunity
We
to
had
have a
the
vanity
option.
cover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Opportunity? Did you not take advantage
No,
of your
not,
opportunity?
well, not for the first
He
run.
he will though.
Oh,
I
okay.
will.
Yeah.
It's just like on my CD. When I have my CD done, I'm a silhouette on it. I just want you to hear the music. And it worked for me because I'd be somewhere and somebody would hear my music and then they'd go, hey man, have you heard this new song that, these guys are doing? And I'm going, yeah. And they go, it's pretty cool, man. I haven't heard, because when I did my spoken word, they weren't even playing it on the radio. So he told me, he said, oh yeah, it's pretty cool. And I said, yeah. I said, you like it? He said, yeah, man. I said, well, have you ever, check this, you ever been to one of his shows? No, but I know dude, man.
You were
he's from
playing,
around
you
here.
were playing Incognito?
Yes, he was.
Incognito.
Incognito.
So in other words, that silhouette, if your mug was on that CD, they would have known it was you.
Well, you should have known by my little head,
Your silhouette.
my little narrow butt.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, but speaking of your CD, what is the name of your CD? Your release CD.
My CD is RSVP.
What
That's
does that
the
stand for?
Response, s'il vous plaît.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why?
You know what? Because I wrote a piece that was RSVP, and my producer said, yeah, man, that really sounds cool. Let's do that. So I said, okay, let's entitle it RSVP. So it was like I was inviting you into my world, and I needed you to respond, s'il vous plaît.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you are an artist, and what music instrument do you play?
Percussion.
All right.
Yeah. Percussion. I play congas and bongos and anything that shakes, rattles, and rolls.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
Don't you remember him on stage, sis?
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah, he was. Remember, I was like, well, why does he get to be up there so
Oh, that's
dang
right.
long?
That's right.
You know, he was.
He forced himself up there. I
He
remember
had
that.
wait a
With
minute,
red jacket
wait a minute, and then he
What?
had wait a minute, and then he had music.
Mhm.
He had the DJ to play his music. He had
It
an
was almost,
introduction.
That was
like
my
it was
friend. He
scripted, huh?
Yeah.
No,
That's
it
what I
wasn't.
It
thought.
was not impromptu.
It
It was
was not-
scripted.
it was
No, I
scripted.
promise you it was impromptu. I'll tell you what happened. No, I'll
He
tell you
just
what
happened to
happened.
come with his own music,
No.
and the DJ could just
Okay, so
slip
I'm
right
gonna tell
on in.
you, you ladies,
Yeah.
everybody could have done what I did. Everybody could have done what I did.
Mhm.
Now, what I did was this. I walked up to the DJ and I said, "Look, Miss DJ," because it was a
Yes,
female
it was.
DJ.
Female,
I
yeah.
remember.
Yeah.
So I said, "Miss DJ," I said, "I would like very much if when I come up, you would play my friend's music." She said, "Well, what is that?" And I said, "Frankie Beverly."
Yeah, because it was
So,
it was
I
a
think
perfect
it was,
song.
I forget which song it was.
Was it Happy Feeling?
No, I think it was Until I Let Go, doom, 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 boom, boom, boom. Yeah. But whatever it was, I asked her and I said, when I come up, I said, would you do me a favor and would you play that as my intro music? And she said, sure. So I said, okay. So I'm good now. I'm sitting there. Everybody else had their opportunity to do whatever they wanted, and I'm sitting there. And then when I came up, I did like this. I looked over at her. I'm like, all right, hit it.
And then he
And
had
she-
more time than any
Yes,
of us.
he did.
Okay.
Well, no,
I
he
did
took
not-
more time.
He took
No,
more
okay,
time.
Or
okay.
you were allocated more time? Were you special?
I was.
Okay, see?
I was.
He paid
And I'll
somebody
tell-
under the table for
No,
the extra 15
no.
minutes.
I tell you why. You know why they gave me that?
All right.
You should feel honored because they gave me that because I got a big mouth. So they respected you and your voice, not to have you stand up there and run your mouth like Mr.
Curtis V did.
That's right.
He
Okay.
just gobbled
They
up
took
the
that
show
responsibility off of
Yeah,
you.
it
See?
did.
You
No,
know?
it was nice.
Bogarted his way up
yeah,
I
there.
didn't.
yeah.
I'm
I
telling
was
you,
like-
because they told me. They said, "Look, you know Kim, so right before she comes on, we're gonna need for you to just." Because I had hosted shows, you know,
Mhm.
before the comedy shows.
Yeah.
So they said, "Okay, Curtis, we need for you to go up there and do your thing." So just go up there and do your thing. Is what I did.
Okay, you did
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah.
You did do that.
So
Yeah.
for our audience who've never heard your music, can you explain your sound in 5 words?
My sound, well, my RSVP CD, which is an older CD. I'm playing more smooth jazz now, but my RSVP is a journey into. It's a romantic journey into anyone who's listening's life, because I'm sure everybody can relate to something that's on the CD.
Okay.
I see you have a book here. What is this book?
This book is a book that I had. I've got a few pieces in Journey into My Brother's Soul, and I've got a few pieces that I have published in this book also.
And what are those pieces?
RSVP, Black to Basics, Beneath the Bridge, and Soulmate.
Oh, soulmate.
You want to give us a snippet on
Yeah.
any
Yeah.
one or two lines as to what
Okay.
these are about?
So you know what? I'll do RSVP because RSVP is really
Short.
short.
Okay.
Really short. So RSVP goes like so. I wonder if what I saw when I was looking at you was the same sensuous scene that turned me on like you do. Now your sexy eyes looking at me made me feel like a king. But that was just a look, you see, because the body didn't have to do a thing. Over when you moved your body, I got the message that it sent, and that's when we connected and all of your inhibitions went, and we're standing face to face. And you want to kiss? And I know I can, but to enhance this kiss, I'll start with the touch of a slow hand. So methodically moving to all of your sensual, erogenous spots. Now inside and out, you experience your whole body getting hot. So hot, if it were measured, the mercury would bust a gauge, melting the lock and unleashing the sexual beast from its cage. And your body movement Your body movement was like a written invitation to me. And my body only RSVP.
Bam.
Bam.
Drop the mic.
I know. I love it. So, can you tell us what is spoken word?
Spoken word is poetry that is shared oratorically. So it's when a poet not only writes, but he performs his work. And I love it when it's done like that, because then you feel what the writer felt when he was writing it, and nobody can express it the way that he expresses it. Now, that's not to say that you won't get a different feeling from it, or it may take you to a different place, but at least you have a base to start from. You know what he felt, and that's what, to me, spoken word is.
Okay. Well, thank you for that. It's time for my vent of the week, and I really don't have a vent, but just over the last couple of days, I just noticed that so many people in the world and just everywhere, they're just full of evilness. It's like our world is going insane, and everybody is fighting, or they're just mean, and for what reason? And so part of my vent is I want to share some love and kindness and just give that to everybody that's listening. And be good and be nice and do unto others as you want them to do unto you. So if you want someone to be nice and good to you, then you have to give that in return.
That's powerful. And I
Yes.
think along those same lines, it's just out of nowhere, just random acts of kindness.
Exactly.
Yeah. Just,
Yeah.
So you're in the store, you're behind me, I'm going to pay for your groceries.
Yes.
Right.
And just, and
Paying
it's like,
it
well, what was
forward.
that about? Yeah.
Yeah,
just,
paying it
just
forward.
because.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just because.
Make
You did-
someone's day.
Yeah.
Where do you
So-
shop?
No, you ain't going to be. I know you're going to pick up all those lobster tails.
I'm just
No.
asking.
No.
I just
It's
want to
gonna
know
be
where you
It's going to
shop.
be random acts of kindness.
Well, it'd be random
Not
that I'm
planned.
there.
Not planned.
And
No, that's
don't
why-
worry about the people you see me pushing out the line.
You
When
think it right behind you?
you just kind of hear the
No,
scuffle.
what I'm gonna do is pay for the one in front of me. Then.
Really? Oh,
Yeah, if I see you, I'm paying for the one in front of me.
oh,
Yeah.
right,
So-
right. Oh.
Okay, so before we get into our announcements, I just want to ask a few things. If you could open up for any artist on tour right now, who would that be?
Probably. Ooh, wow. You know what? Since my son plays, well, no, that wouldn't be really cool.
On second thought.
Yeah, no, because my son plays for Jennifer Hudson. If you open up for Jennifer, it's like, woo, you got to come hard, I tell you. No, if I could open up for anybody, I would probably, and I know this probably seems crazy, but I've been around Frankie Beverly, and that whole camp has been friends of mine, for a long time. The old band were friends of mine, and the new band were friends of my son. So, I think I wouldn't mind doing something with Frank. That would be really special. But I always like to play. I played with my son for the first time about 3 weeks ago, ever, and that was special. So I'd like to do something with my son and Frank.
And what instrument?
My son's a drummer for
Okay,
Jennifer
drummer.
Hudson. Yeah.
Okay, drummer.
Okay,
Yeah.
sis, let's go ahead and do the announcements.
Okay, so our usual announcement is our monthly community outreach event, which is held at the Big Lots parking lot on Federal and Euclid. That's 1655 Euclid Avenue. It is our whole health event, our Good Health Equals Long Life. Kaiser, Coleman, and several other organizations are out there on the parking lot providing free services to everyone. We also have free produce for the first 100 people that attend. And we really want to just make sure that you know your numbers. Come and have your blood pressure checked. get your diabetes screened. There's HIV testing, hepatitis C testing. If you need a mammogram, either sign up. But this month we're going to actually have the coach,
Yes.
so we can actually do free mammograms on September 19th. We're there from 10 to 6. There's absolutely no excuse because the price is right. It's free.
Exactly.
Please tell your friends, your neighbors, even the people you don't like, because we do want to save lives. That's what it's all about.
Mhm.
Mr.
right.
Curtis V, we expect you to be there if you're not on the road somewhere
I'm
or
gonna
doing
be
someone's hair.
I'm gonna be
And tell all your clients
Yes.
I will.
about our free event. And again, it's every third Wednesday of
Okay.
every month. And, you know, we just want people to take advantage of this free monthly event. And we're not there for no reason. We're there because we want to be there. And that is to help save lives.
Yeah, we're not asking anything for it. This is real our assignment.
Yes.
So we're just trying to help God's people, trying to prevent strokes and heart attacks and things like that. Those things are 95% preventable.
Right.
So let's just take care of business and take care of our health.
What a
Because,
blessing.
yeah, it is a blessing.
What a
So,
blessing.
It
I
is.
appreciate you ladies for even participating in something like that. Yeah.
It's our calling.
Yeah, this is that's
Yeah.
our baby.
Well,
Yeah.
Thank God.
And you know, to actually service the underserved. Yeah,
well, that's a blessing.
yeah. And one,
Yeah.
so how can our audience get in contact with you to make a hair appointment or to purchase the book?
Well, you can reach me, phone number for a hair appointment. You can reach me at area code 619-750-5094. You can Google Curtis V, and you will always be able to find me and the salon. And you can purchase my book. You can go to Facebook, Curtis Venters, Venters, and friend me, and you will see a link to my PayPal where you can purchase the book, and then we can also talk about future speaking engagements or things of the such.
How much is the book?
$25. That's shipping and handling included.
Yes. Well, so it's $25 and free shipping.
Yes.
Okay.
And that way,
And I have a question. Where
Yes.
is the salon of yours?
My salon is 1233 Mission Camino del Rio South in Mission Valley.
Okay.
It's a pretty good sized salon. It's about 14,000 square feet. So I have a studio within the salon, and you come over. It's a lot of fun, and you have a lot of people to socialize with, and
I'm gonna
a lot
stop
of good
by.
energy.
Oh, yeah.
I
I
may not have
expect
to do
you
my hair, but
Right,
I'm gonna
we're
come
gonna
back and
have
check
to
out
stop.
the
Well,
book.
you
check-
can come
check
get a
it out.
shampoo if nothing else.
Okay.
I can
All
do
right.
something.
So we're at the end of our show, and you have been listening to the Many Shades of Pink and Black Health radio program on KBOKradio.com, sponsored by Many Shades of Pink. I'm your host, Wendy Sherrill, breast cancer survivor and advocate.
And I'm your co-host, Dr. Susanna Fall, a retired family physician. Our guest was Curtis V.
And
Yes.
thank you so much, ladies, for having me. I feel so humbled and pleasured to
It
be
has-
allowed to speak with you.
It has been awesome, exciting, lots of fun too.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for
Yes.
sharing your personal information, all your professional interests and things like that.
Yes, well, thank you.
And so, thank you for listening. Be sure to tune in every Sunday at 2 p.m. Visit and like our Facebook page and YouTube channel, Many Shades of Pink and Black Health. For more information on breast cancer, visit the Coleman San Diego Circle of Promise website at www.colemansandiego.org.